Hello and welcome to Wind and Film. I'm Jesse White and I am here today to talk a little bit more about a particular movie. If you haven't guessed already, you can have one guess. I mean, you can have more than one guess. Here's a hint. Steve Jobs. I know at least 12 Apple nerds who knew that right away. So, Danny Boyle directed this wonderful movie with Michael Fassbender, Jeff Daniels, Kate Winslet. It's just Seth Rogen. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, Steve Jobs himself was not particularly known as a nice guy. Watching the movie, I think it's a very, very delicate and fair approach to who he really was. He was very, very determined and driven, and he knew exactly what he wanted, and he would take nothing less. And Michael Fassbender has definitely raised the bar with his particular performance. He should be very, very proud. He's done an amazing job. The movie itself breaks down into three particular acts. There are three launches that happen, product launches, in Steve Jobs' life throughout the movie. This particular movie is very interesting in the way that they tell you the story. It's not conventional in the sense like your typical action and romance movie. It's not a documentary strictly either. It's almost not so much about the products that he actually released, but more about him and what he did in his life centered around these products. You learn a whole lot about where he came from. Obviously, there are flashback sequences that kind of fill in some gaps in the conversations that he has with these people. It's fascinating to see. This is a very small cast in a very big movie. It's about, it's 2 hours, but it's jam-packed. You don't stop. You don't get bored, I will tell you that much. Danny Boyle had such a clear vision of what needed to be done, and he made it happen. And it's really interesting to hand a project, I think in so many respects, off to somebody who isn't American to begin with, to tell the story of an American and how he changed not only America, really the whole world, but he's an institution here. It's also interesting that the lead actor is non-American. We're talking Michael Fassbender here, and he did an amazing job of helping him understand who to be. Danny did a great job directing every single character in it, and Aaron Sorkin, of course, wrote the movie. Beautifully scripted. Dialogue is incredible. There's some language, but that's really it. And I'm gonna be spoiling just a hair. They don't talk about the iPhone or anything, iPad, really any of that stuff. Mostly just major computers that happened that brought him to where he was. That being said, you're talking about a very broken man that Michael plays, and you see that and you hear more about his backstory and his life. I think a lot of people don't necessarily understand that he was adopted, and how that went and how he treated his daughter. His daughter was clearly someone that was important to him, but he didn't know how to convey it in the ways that you may be used to through your own parents or friends or family. Love, the way he gave love was very different. Now, besides that, the supporting cast, Kate Winslet, oh my gosh, she did an amazing job. She has kind of this European, kind of Eastern European accent for her character, and she did a fantastic job of being the head of marketing that follows Steve basically through the entire journey. So she's very connected to everything that happened to him. And it's really interesting to get that kind of insight. The people that surround him definitely help him out. He needs people like her in this movie to set him straight. She did a phenomenal job. She has a scene with him near the end of the movie, and it just gets you. Jeff Daniels is in there as Mr. Scully. It's so weird to see him because the first thing that I ever saw him in was Dumb and Dumber. I've always known him to be that goofball crazy guy. You see Jeff Daniels in this movie and you go, this is not Harry. This is not Harry from Dumb and Dumber. This is a completely different human being. He rocks the screen. He does an amazing job. He and Michael have an incredible rapport. They have this relationship. It's just beautiful. Now, my biggest surprise in this movie really is Seth Rogen. I'm not a fan of Seth Rogen in general. I don't hate him. I've never been like, God, I hate that guy. Because I don't. I watched him in this movie and I saw a side of him that has never existed in any other film that I'm aware of. He plays Mr. Wozniak, and he actually tugs at your heartstrings big time. It's the most lovable I've seen him, but also the most vulnerable and emotional. Almost everything that happens throughout to every single actor, to each character in the movie, builds. At first, you see kind of everybody tolerating Steve, but they finally get to a point where they can say what they want to him. Seth and Kate and Jeff, they all have those moments with Michael, and it is incredible to watch. You're looking at a movie that actually feels more, to me, kind of like a play. You could probably set this up on a stage, honestly, and do it. Almost no set changes at all, and you could still have a phenomenal workspace to do this script. The cinematography is very simple, but they shot it in different types of film. So when you see the very beginning of the movie, you see a certain graininess, and then the quality changes to a more accurate present day look. It's very possible that this could be in the Oscar nominations before we know it. I completely recommend this movie. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll be continuing to bring you more content, obviously, and hopefully you can tune in more. If you'd like to subscribe, there's the button. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon in the next episode. Bye.